I'm Jeff Schwartz. This is our September 2015 update. We've been having a great time. I had a moment to reflect on where we've been and where we've come from. Since this is our 10th anniversary, we've got a lot of things that have happened over the course of 10 years. I never imagined in my wildest dreams that we'd be here. Original plan was to make a living and have a couple people working for me. We're manufacturing 30 different models of chassis that bolt into old muscle cars and vintage cars. We've won a lot of things over the course of the years. Carcraft Real Street Eliminator numerous times. We've most recently won Muscle Car of the Year, Pro Builder of the Year, and then this year we had wins at Good Guys, double win in the muscle car class. We had street rod class win. We had the fastest overall road course time at the Motor State Challenge, and it's been a heck of a wild ride. So I'm really enjoying myself, as is the group here at Schwartz Performance, and I'd like to reflect on just a few of the project cars that we've done over the past. You probably remember my Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham. That was the first car that I built, ironically in my home garage long before I started the business. However, it did plant itself permanently in many people's mind as a pretty cool car. It was fairly unassuming on the outside, looked like just your basic giant two-door Fleetwood Brougham coupe, and I did a lot of suspension pieces where I handmade them because there wasn't nothing available for that type of car, and basically built it into a pro touring car. My inspiration, I have to admit, was the AMG Mercedes Hammer that they had in the mid-80s. That was just this awesome big car that, you know, hauled ass and went around corners pretty well too. So we kind of proved that we had some knowledge of suspension by making that Cadillac do things that it wasn't intended to do. And it also ran 11s in the quarter mile, initially with a nitrous-fed Oldsmobile 455, and later on with a 500 cubic inch Cadillac engine that I put together from basically a bunch of junk parts. Then the Ultima GTR was the opposite lock of the Cadillac. It was a lightweight car. It's a British designed car that is a self-assembly supercar, and that car weighed 2,200 pounds. Initially it had a LS6 engine in it, putting out about 500 horse, and then later on, with the encouragement of Cam Douglas and his encouragement to try to do this Silver State Classic Challenge, we bumped it up to a twin turbo setup with 1,000 horsepower. So 2,200 pounds with 1,000 horsepower. That was a crazy car, but I actually put about 50,000 miles on that car on the street, and it was great fun. And our first big project for the customer, which was the Poison Dart, as we mentioned earlier, a lot of innovation on that car. A powder-coated body shell, a lot of one-off carbon pieces, independent rear suspension, carbon fiber diffuser, carbon fiber spoiler, and an injected Hemi with paddle shifters on the steering wheel. And then along the way, we introduced the first bolt-in muscle car chassis, which was a pretty crazy thing. Chevy High Performance and Henry De Los Santos printed a 6-page article detailing that whole new product, and that was the start of better things to come. And then there's Grant Kraft, a good friend. We first met over the telephone when I was commissioned to build him an engine for his Ultima GTR. It was the second engine project that I did for Ultima type cars, and we became great friends. And for his 40th birthday, we built him a Pontiac Tempest, which he came over and drove on the Power Tour. And that's the car we're still campaigning today in autocross, but thanks to Grant, that made that car happen. And numerous other things, too numerous to mention, but he's been a great ally and a great friend, and I appreciate all that he's done for me. Also, all the friends of mine at the magazines who I had met at various events, Carcraft Summer Nationals, and Hot Rod Power Tour, and so forth. They became my friends long before I started my business, and when I did start my business, they helped by giving me a little bit of media coverage and so forth. So I want to thank all those magazine folks that are too numerous to mention individual names. I'm sorry, but I don't want to miss anyone. But that was very instrumental in helping us get established.
All right, I'm Dale Schwartz, son of Jeff Schwartz, our fearless leader, and I've been working here 4 years now, full time. Ever since the beginnings of going to the racetrack with my family, I really knew that this is kind of what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So fast forward several years, and my dad and I, were working on cars together in the garage. I helped him build his Ultima GTR that he's pretty famous for. I went to a bunch of car shows with him growing up before we had the business. And then I started my own project, 82 Trans Am, that we built in the garage at home. At least we started in the garage. And shortly after starting the project, my dad lost his job in the corporate world and was forced to make his hobby his career. So, transitioning from, just a hobbyist guy doing the stuff in his garage to, an entrepreneur trying to make a name for himself. I helped out with that in high school. So right before I graduated high school, we stopped by Rad Rides by Troy here in Illinois and talked to them about, where the best kind of students come from to work for their company. And one of the guys there had mentioned McPherson College in Kansas, so I went and checked out that school with my dad and ended up going there for 4 years, earning my bachelor's degree in automotive restoration. So before, during, and after my college career, seeing the whole pro touring and muscle car market grow, it's been really inspiring to see the growth and see my future in this industry. So it's really exciting going to all the different events that we go to throughout the year, and just the growth in our business, going from a 2-man 1,500 square foot shop 10 years later now, we're expanded into a 20,000 square foot facility with over 15 employees now. So there is a lot of potential for more growth out there, as most of the people that are into muscle cars want them to handle and ride nice. So I don't see any end to this industry anytime soon, and I look forward to continuing the business as I get older.